since I was like 14. It's been a running joke that one day the Foo Fighters are going to be driving down the 401 and their fucking bus is going to break down and they're going to knock on my door to use the phone to call a tow truck and we're going to end up jamming.
Welcome back to Foos Files, the podcast for fans of the Foo Fighters. Imagine if the Foo Fighters came to play a concert at your home. It's an absolute dream scenario, right? The ultimate house party. Well, it's exactly what happened to 8 lucky fans across the US and Canada in 2011 when the band embarked on the Garage Tour. One of those fans was Nick Perry from Ontario, Canada. In this episode of Foos Files, Nick tells us about the surreal experience of welcoming the band to his farm after believing the whole thing was a prank set up by his friends. And the cherry on the cake? He got to perform songs with the Foo Fighters too. So here it is, in his own words. Welcome to the podcast, our latest storyteller, Nick Perry.
So I woke up one morning and a bunch of text messages on my phone. Hey, you hear about this contest? Hey, you hear about this? Whatever. And I kind of look into it. And to be honest, I started to sign up for this competition. And it was put on by BlackBerry, a phone company here in Canada. And I started filling out the application and then I just stopped. And at this point in time in my life, everything was just kind of going kind of shitty for me. And I said, it's just another thing. I'm going to get my hopes up and it's just going to crush me. So I said, nope, I'm not even going to bother. There's no way in hell I'm going to win this thing. And a couple weeks went by and some friends asked, hey, did you sign up for this contest yet? Did you do this? I go, no. And they're like, why not? I'm like, there's going to be 1 million people entering. I'm not going to win this. There's no way, no chance in hell. Like, oh, you should just do it anyway, man. You got a good spot on the farm. There's, whatever. Like, you play in your garage. Because I've had bands in my garage, like, for years and just having practices, recording albums and doing stuff like that in, like, a homemade studio out there. And I think it was, like, just a week before the contest ended that I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just do this for shits and giggles and see what happens. And the contest rules were really simple. It was provide 1 JPEG of your garage and 20 words or less why the Foo Fighters should play at your place. And I went out to my garage and I took like 100 pictures. And I'm like, not one picture is going to do this. Like, this sucks. Like, forget it. And then I got the bright idea. I'm like, I'm going to get my buddy who's really good at like editing and graphic design stuff. I'm going to get him to make a collage. So then I could add a few pictures and it would still be 1 JPEG. So I did that, and then I'm like, it's still not right. So I have a crazy collection of guitar picks from going to their shows and like talking to their techs and stuff and like getting guitar picks. And I made a collage of that and my CDs and my record collection, and I added that to the JPEG. And now I thought, I'm brilliant. This is hilarious. No one's going to think of this. And then it came to the 20 words or less, and I went, shit. I tried to like rearrange words and take out ands and does everywhere I could to like make it just stand out, and it was fucking impossible. And then I went, well, you know what? I'm going to go back to this JPEG thing. And I wrote like a whole paragraph and put it at the bottom of the JPEG. So now this one picture spoke for everything. There's my garage, my record collection, my CDs, the guitar picks showing how many shows I've gone to, and then a whole paragraph explaining how far I was from the airport, and the garage was heated. So if they were coming to Canada to play a show in the middle of winter, we got that beat, no problem, and the whole thing. Just sold it. And I think on where I had to put the 20 words or less, I phoned it in. I was just like, they're my favorite band. Come play at my house. Like, just something stupid. And because I entered the contest so late in the game, they had actually already picked a winner. And they fired mine right up to the band. They're like, we just got one last submission and you guys kind of need to look at this. And the band actually saw it and we're like, yeah, we got to play at this guy's house. So unbeknownst to me, that was happening in the background. And my friends called me on April Fools because the contest ended on March 31st. And they called me like, oh, we heard on the radio you won this and that. I'm like, no, they didn't. And my friends are fucking huge pranksters, right? So I called them on it. I went and did my taxes, went over to their work after, and I was like, oh, let's see it on the website. What's going on here? They were full of shit. They're like, yeah, but it'd be cool if you did, though, right? I'm like, it's not happening. Don't worry about it, guys. About 6 o'clock that night, I got a phone call from somebody who was in a 213 area code. So I was like, that sounds like Los Angeles. Why are they calling me? I pick up the phone and they're like, oh, it's Stephanie from Hello Entertainment. We're just letting you know that you won the Foo Fighters thing. I go, fuck you. And she's like, excuse me? And I'm like, did Jeff put you up to this? And she's like, who's Jeff? And I'm like, all right. Nobody knows what my submission looks like. What does it look like? And it's like, well, there's a collage of like some guitar picks and CDs. I dropped my phone. It just dropped out of my hand on the floor. And I pick up, I'm like, I called my dad over and I put my phone on speakerphone. I'm like, can you just repeat what you told me again? And she's like, you won this contest. The Foo Fighters are going to come play your garage in 2 weeks on the 14th. And both, like my dad, his eyes are like wide open. My jaw's dropped. I'm like, this is fucking insane. This is crazy. So I got all the information, and then my buddies that pulled the prank on me, I told them to come over to my house for like a little band practice. And I told them, I was kind of bummed out that I didn't win this competition and, whatever. But I wanted to set my garage up and jam and do some stuff anyway. So they helped me clean my garage and I put them right to hard labor. We worked on it for like 3 or 4 hours, cleaning the place up and everything. And in Canada, we have Tim Hortons coffee, and every April they put on this like roll up the rim to win thing. So we were looking at our coffee cups to see what we had won. Everyone's like, oh, I got a coffee, I got a donut, and I roll mine up and I go, oh, it looks like I won the Foo Fighters garage tour contest. And they go, shut the fuck up. And I go, no, it's just a donut. But I did win though. And I pulled the information out of my back pocket that I'd printed off. I go, check this out. And I showed them the stuff that they sent me. So I was like, because you guys helped me clean my garage, I guess I'll invite you to the show. But that was the penance for fucking playing pranks on me, that telling me that I'd won before I'd won. So it all worked out for everybody.
I was going to actually ask him if I could maybe go up and maybe do a song.
But who knows?
That would be fun.
Who knows?
What song?
For Foo Fighters' sake and for Dave Grohl's sake, I want this one to be the one he remembers. So
They were in Toronto doing a radio interview before coming to my place. And they came in like these 2 big black vans. It was like the president was coming to my place or something. It was wild. And I wanted to go down to the radio interview because I never miss an interview. I never miss a show. And they're like, no, you got to stay here. So I actually ended up helping all the roadies unload the gear and set everything up, which was actually fucking awesome.
do you guys mind if I help you set up like a little bit of gear?
Go fucking pull something out of the van. What are you
Yeah,
standing
check this
around
shit out.
for?
Check
Go
this
get
out.
it.
And then I waited for them to show up. And when they showed up, I was kind of like hiding behind a trailer on my yard. I'm just like watching them get out of their van. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. My buddy John and I were just waiting to catch them offside a little bit. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, man. And Dave recognized me right away because we met 30, 40 times or something. And he's like, is this your place? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I set my guitar up there with an amp, so maybe we'll play a couple songs or two. And he was just caught off guard, like right away. He's like, all right, we'll see, whatever.
Hey, I set up my stack up there too, so maybe later on, come in for a tune.
Okay.
We came into my place, checked out my record collection and some other stuff, and told some stories. And then they said, well, if you're going to play, we got to test you out. And they watched me play a few songs and made some requests and said, we'll see. And then just like the movies, man, this couldn't have been any wilder. Everybody that was coming to the show, they came in on a big tour bus. And so just as that bus was coming down my lane, the Foo Fighters walk out of the front door of my house. And all of a sudden you hear like 50 people banging on windows of this bus. and the band's just running down my driveway trying to get out of the way before they get swarmed by like fans. From there, it was just everyone's adrenaline was 100. So it was quite a wild afternoon. They wanted me to play My Hero. That was it. They're like, you got to play this one. They got me to play like All My Life and different stuff when I like tried out the parts to see if they could get me to come play. And I must have played 15 different songs for them, whatever, just brief parts. And it was funny because some of the songs were like, can you play this one? I'm like, well, do you want me to play your part or Pat's part or Chris's part? And they're like, what the fuck? So I knew all the individual pieces, right? And they're like, well, we're going to get you to play My Hero. That's the song you got to play. I'm like, okay, cool. And then before they get into My Hero, he pulls me aside and goes, go fucking get your guitar, hop in. We're going to do this next. And then I ended up playing the end of Rope, which I just learned like that fucking week, which was weird to just jump in at the end of a song when they're still improvising shit. But I got to do Rope with them and then My Hero. And then that seemed like that was the end of the show. Like they couldn't get any better than that. It was done, right? And we're 2 songs deep. And then Dave's like, oh, how are we going to even top this? And I just instinctively started playing All My Life. And Dave usually starts that song off. And so he's got his hands up in the air. He's like, I'm not even fucking playing this right now. And Taylor looks over at him. He's like, he's playing it like just like the fucking album, like the tempo and everything. And at that point, I'm just hearing this while I'm playing. I'm like, this is the biggest compliment ever. Like, fuck, this is cool. So I played that with them, and that was like done. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go sit down. Fucking, I got a stage boner right now. I'm gonna go fucking hang out for. I'm like, this is too much.
Do you have a boner? Is that what you're hiding? He has a fucking. Is your dick hard right now? Ew. Okay, go sit in your fucking truck seat over there. Lose the boner, and we'll play a couple more songs.
So, right off the bat, 3 songs with them. And then at the end of the show, they called me back up to do Everlong with them. And again, it's like, okay, well, that's it. Fuck. And then Dave tells like a little story about how many times we've met and hung out and how he knows me and I know him. And then I'm making a little bit of noise on my guitar. And he goes, well, I guess Nick's going to play some music for you guys. So see you guys later. And I start playing Big Me. I don't know why I played that, whatever. And they all looked at each other and went, fuck. And they all came back and they all played Big Me with me. And Dave wouldn't sing. He points to me. He's like, you fucking sing this. I'm like, you son of a bitch. So for 3.5 minutes, I got to front my favorite band, which was, aside from all the shit that just happened in the last hour and a half, I guess that's how you put a cherry on top, right?
I think we need to do one more song. And when I say we, I mean we.
Really, I don't know how I went from being totally bummed out, thinking I wasn't going to win this thing, to that. And that happened in the course of like 3 weeks, because I entered this contest so late, and they just 3 weeks later, they're at my front door. It's like a dream, right? Like I still remember it as if it was yesterday, but it still doesn't feel like it happened. But I guess sometimes stars align and you get it, right? It's like buying a lottery ticket and winning, or getting a chocolate bar and getting that golden ticket.
It's just, I mean, let me explain something really quick. If I had a fucking nickel for every time this guy right here came up to me after a show and said, hey, will you sign this incredibly obscure fucking bootleg I found the other day? Remember me? I'd be like, yeah. First time I was like, oh yeah, I remember you. No, I didn't remember you. And then like by the 5th or 6th time, it was like, oh yeah, you're that dude. And then by the how many times is it? 29 times?
I've met you 26.
Okay. And so by like, I don't know, by the 24th person, I was like, oh God, is that dude? And then today, when we got here today, they were like, hey, just so you know, the place you're playing, it belongs to this guy that's seen you like 29 times. I'm like, I wonder who the fuck is he? And we pull up down the driveway, and he walks up, I'm like, it's that guy.
I've always lived on a farm, and I've always had guys come over and jam and do stuff like that. And since I was like 14, it's been a running joke that one day the Foo Fighters are going to be driving down the 401, which is the local major highway here. And their fucking bus is going to break down or something's going to happen. And they're going to knock on my door to use the phone to call a tow truck. And we're going to end up jamming. I've been saying that since I was 14. By the time I was 28, it didn't happen exactly like that, but it happened. So I don't know if that's one of those like wish upon a star things or whatever, but that's been the running joke. The other running joke was that if I ever won the lottery, I would have them come play here. And I told them that when they showed up. I told my friends, if I ever won the lottery, I'm going to pay you guys like $5 million to come to a show. So thanks for saving me $5 million.
You're no longer that guy, okay? You're this guy. And I like this guy better than that guy. So thanks for having me.
Thanks to Nick for sharing his story. What a surreal experience that must have been. Before we go, if you are enjoying the podcast, please do leave a review and a 5-star rating on your favourite listening app. It'd really help us out, and it means a lot to me too. Have a great week and see you next time.